Hey, what's up guys, Zoakley, and we're going to be playing a Total War Warhammer battle. This is actually going to be pretty awesome. It's kind of an all-in Bretonia fight that we're going to be pulling off here. So, we decided to bring almost all mounted warriors. So Indy's got his forces in the back, and actually he broke the rule a little bit. He brought some infantry, well actually just one spearman at arms, and that's to guard our trebuchets. So actually I retract that, it's 90% cavalry, and then each of us took kind of a pair of trebuchets, because we knew the enemy would probably take a counter pick of a lot of spears and whatnot, and we wanted to break that up. So we do have our trebuchets up through the front. So we have 4 of those with just 1 defending spearman force. And then we have a host of heroes. So I have my damsel positioned here on a barded warhorse, plus King Louis Leoncoeur is also on a barded warhorse. So we wanted all our heroes on the ground, no pussy, footing around up in the air. And then we have a ton of knights hidden around, kind of sporadically around the battlefield. Indy has a paladin, kind of grouped up with these Grail Knights and Knights of the Realm. So that's the far right of our trap. Then we have a whole bunch more. He has another one, Knights of the Realm there, Knights of the Realm here. And then back here, 3 more Knights of the Realm with a bit more of his heroes. 2 more Paladin, or Lord, Damsel, and a Paladin. Put this on plate, and then I have and then I have some more knights, Grail Knights, positioned here. 3 of them all hidden. I know these are going to be important to take out enemy heroes, and that's why they're positioned close to the trebuchets to try and provide support if a hero tries to swarm in. And then on this flank I have a huge number of knights for the lady, just waiting on the right side. We just can't get enough of these knights, looking so glorious. And this is kind of all in anticipation for when we're going to be getting Bretonia next month, which I could not be more excited for. I love their playstyle. But anyways, we got a huge, we can even pop on the overhead map. Yeah, look at this big ambush that we have set up on all flanks, and we want to draw the enemy into the center where we have our trebuchets. It seems like that's kind of working out. The enemy is deciding to push forward with Karl Franz, and I'm just dodging around with my king. The enemy has a fair amount of artillery. We'll go ahead and take a look at them soon, but I do want to see some of the batteries coming in. So that's their fire. Let's see how our damage is doing. Well, yeah. Pretty freaking brutal up on this side. So the Empire is nice and clustered up. So their main line here is a lot of infantry stacked together. Oh my god, look how punishing. I love artillery like this. I find trebuchets, catapults, anything that lobs stones seem to do a lot of damage against infantry. So yeah, their main line here is getting absolutely bushwhacked. Sigmar's Son's taking lots of damage. But their artillery is now set up. They're wasting a lot of it on our cheap-ish trebuchets. Over here I pulled up a damsel just to cast a spell. Boom, kind of tear through them, although I miscalculated that. The effect was a little bit further, so I didn't do as much damage, but the Empire is getting very antsy here with all the fire that we're putting on, and look at this. So the plan is definitely working. We wanted to goad them into a fight straight through the center, and they're going to take the obvious bait of pushing through the middle, which we'll see if that works. But as you've seen, their main line is going to be swords. Spearmen in the back. I would, against Bretonia, bring these more to the front. But we can see them starting to march forward in support. Have an Amber Wizard here with the rest. And they do have some heavy hitting units. Royal Outdoor Griffites, a Luminarch of Hish, and then 2 more hidden units, Outriders on that flank. But we're starting to hit their main front. Demigryphs also taking some hits. And now take a look at this. They decide to sick their hero against our trebuchets, thinking it would be an easy kill, but now I pour out with all of my Grail Knights, and now we're going to surround Karl Franz. He's been taking a lot of damage. You can see the enemy is trying to pull out of there, desperately trying to do that. His damage is going to start, yeah, we're putting on a lot of damage. He's popped all of his abilities, stand your ground. Our opponents are definitely just at their wits' end of, oh my god, what is going on? They're trying to get their hero out. I'm doing lots of damage. So that's going on here. And now we're going to have the opportunity to spring our trap. We're going to wait for the enemy to get just close enough to artillery to the point where they're kind of sucked in. And now is when we're going to charge forward. So what I decided to do is on the left flank, I wanted to disrupt the enemy's units, most likely their spears and other rear line forces, and get at their crosswind with my damsel. So she's doing that. The enemy General of the Empire is going to be coming in as well. And notice our artillery is targeting the demigryphs. But now we're going to start to spring our trap. So Grail Knights and other units are going to start to activate in the rear. Some of our cavalry here is all pulling out of the forest, and I even have my guys in the back still waiting, so the enemy is not sure what's going to hit them. Meanwhile, Karl Franz has been absolutely routed by 3 of these Grail Knights, and we did save this trebuchet. And now take a look at what's going to be happening here. Striking them from the front, and I cast a spell right here with my damsel straight into the flank of these archers, so that's going to be doing a lot of damage. And now we're just crushing through this. I'm going to cast another comet here. Now that I have a mix of gentlemen, and just pulverize the rear line. So that's going on there, hitting them from this side. And now let's take a look at what's going to greet the enemy from the front. Straight up knightly charge right into the swordsmen on the run. They are not braced, and boom, we're going to wash over them. If you thought that wasn't enough, we have more coming through the back. Spearmen going to be holding this flank, and yeah, this is not looking good for our enemy, who's getting absolutely just shreked from all sides. The enemy cavalry is pulling back in the face of our units, and yeah, we're doing a lot of damage. And now I'm going to pop the ambush on this side as well. The entire heraldry of Bretonnia is going to be pushing forward, so look at all this. 4 big knightly units coming around to flank this force. Meanwhile, we are now getting in at the rear of the enemy's lines. Artillery is haphazardly shooting into their own ranks. It is not looking good for them. Meanwhile, we're ravaging the rest of the Empire line. I mean, look what's left of their troops. Almost nothing here. Sigmar's Sun's collapsing. Man, we're doing work. And now the mayhem will commence. Our artillery is going to start targeting these units in the center. So much damage being put on here. The Griffites, however, are in the mix. And Knights of the Blazing Sun. So that's going to be a good pair of units to try and hold us down. But yeah, we'll see how far that gets them. On this flank, I'm charging forward with my additional reinforcing knights, and they're going to see the enemy outriders off, and we're tearing through this flank. I'm going to charge through with all my units in here. We're going to hit these demis. I was going for the enemy artillery, but now we're going to have 2 demis fighting against a bunch of our knights. So this is going to be a glorious engagement to be had. But one of my units is going to get free, and it's going to go straight into the cannon here. Boom, doing so much damage to the crew. This is so freaking epic. So we're swarming on all sides, and we do have a Lord paired with a Paladin here, so giving our buffs to these units, allowing us to do a lot of damage. We also have the Damsel here, and now, take a look, a rear strike is also going to be coming in with Grail Knights into the demis. So God, this is why you do not meet Bretonnia out on the open ground. The Ember Wizard is trying to put supporting spells, which is breaking our Knights of the Realm, but we have so much firepower put in here. Gonna get an ability off on these Royal Outdoor Griffites. So you can see a little bit of an explosion there, taking out a couple of them, then we charge in. Our main line here started, well, basically we killed all the swordsmen, and the second the spears got engaged, Indy and I decided to pull out and kind of just leave our lords and allow the artillery to tackle those guys. So our knights have been making the rounds of the enemy rear lines, cleaning it up, and now we're hitting the remainder of the kind of elite troops in the back. And what's left is going to be spearmen here and there, which is going to be the core of their remaining forces. They did bring a lot of those. Knights of the Blazing Sun in our rear line are going to prove rather damaging to us. My damsel is still here, but she's kind of wavering, so I'm going to try and be very careful about her use, especially with Karl Franz, who came back to the battlefield. Fortunately, I was not able to kill him off earlier, so he's going to prove to be very, very annoying, even though his health is low, so I'm going to try and pull out of there. And now most of our cavalry has been reduced rather greatly in number, because the problem with cavalry is, yeah, they're expensive and you don't bring as many bodies to the field, so they're kind of scattered around. And we still have a lot of them left, but we need to reconsolidate our forces. Oh my god, did you see that spell hit that I just got off? That was freaking awesome. That was from a damsel hit those guys in the flank, and then we hit them again with Knights of the Realm. So we're going to kill all these units. The Emperor Wizard may also start to break and run. But Karl Franz coming in to try and support. We'll see if he has the balls to land amongst these knights, seeing the trauma that they caused him last time. I don't quite think he has it in him. Oh, there he goes. He's actually going to try and attempt it on the weakest part of the line, mind you. Oh, he's going after our lord, so that is not a good idea. Paladin, 2 paladins, and a damsel here to take on Karl Franz. Enemy spears are going to try and come in. We'll see if they can get here in time, but now we're going to be targeting Karl Franz, trying to drive him down. Meanwhile, the back row Altar Griffites are breaking, and then here Karl Franz, some of his supporting units are breaking, but the spears may just be his saving grace. So Indy and I are now going to give an attack order away, try and reconsolidate our forces because they have some healthy spear units. So we're going to pull out of here. Karl Franz is winded in melee. He's just wavering, so hopefully our remaining knights can do away with him. And now he's broken, so that is essentially going to break the spine of the enemy. They still have a captain here, fighting our unit hand to hand. We'll kind of see how that goes. But our damsel and other units still doing a lot of damage, and we have some trebuchets somehow still alive. I'm remanning the crew, and now we're going to start to target these healthy blobs of spears, which are kind of the only thing that can beat our late game cavalry. We're going to be swarming these demis. Karl Franz does in fact come back. Some of his forces are rallying, so we have to, well, rally our own cavalry back around what remains of it. Some of it is off here, chasing off crossbowmen and outriders, but we really do need to bring it back to the fight. This trebuchet force is doing well. A couple of our paladins and other units coming back. And now we have a fight for this trebuchet unit that's trying to fight till the end. My damsel here just barely still staying alive. And we have Knights of the Realm breaking Knights of the Blazing Sun, a remaining Empire Swordsman unit. I had cast a spell on them previously with my damsel, and that is what kind of ended up killing this last remaining force. Down through the center, well, now you can see it's a Pyrrhic victory, but what happened is there's still this remaining blob of infantry with a captain and a spearman unit, but the trebuchet fire that we were able to get in on this just absolutely shattered them. The other force back here having almost nothing left. Our heroes, paladins, really proving their worth in the open country. So yeah, that was a really nice taste of Bretonnia. Can't wait to see more units with them, and they are just so fun. The ability to bait that Empire force into an engagement because of the frustrating number of trebuchets we had was just awesome. And then sweeping in from all sides, I hope you appreciated that glory. I know I did. It was very, very fun to do, and I'm sure our opponents were a bit shocked. But, you know, what do you expect fighting against Bretonnia? Let's go ahead and end the battle here. Take a look at some of my stats. So a fair number of kills on all my units. Knights of the Realm here with 102, 62, 37, 59, doing pretty well. Grelland's doing okay, not super amounts of kills. I mean, 82 and 86 is still pretty good. But most of their damage, mind you, was targeted towards the enemy Karl Franz. They brought him down to like 10% health. They fought the Demigryph Knights. They fought Spearmen. So they traded pretty well, I would say. And then our field trebuchet is doing a fair amount. I can't click on Indypride. That bug is still there. But I know his trebuchet's got a lot of kills. Against infantry blobs, they seem to do really good work. The enemy force, on the other hand, Demi's doing okay, but against our guys, yeah, not trading super well. Spearman here getting a fair amount of kills. 40 kills on this one, I think, was mostly against our Spearman unit and trebuchet crew, whereas the rest, you know, only 4, 8, and 8 kills against Cav. I mean, they were doing their best, but just it wasn't enough. I would say these two Outriders were utterly ineffective. I think they were expecting us to have Spearman units that they would be able to just lob grenades at. That wasn't the case. We just chased them down. And then this artillery just did more kills against themselves than anything else. So that's it for this battle. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. And yeah, peace out.